Okay, so this is me showing you the tutorial that I've done for first day in Unreal Engine 4. And I'm going to be covering what I haven't covered already, which is adding lights, having them triggered, creating a lighting pass, making a camera animation, packaging the scene. And I'm having a problem with triggering the light. It was very weird earlier today. It would only work under certain conditions in the computer lab, and now I can't replicate it. No matter how hard I go back and forth with the tutorial videos, it's not working whenever I pass through the trigger area. And I'll show you my blueprint, which is right here for it. So you have your trigger volume with the begin overlap for the collision, going to toggle the visibility of the point light, which is the target. And I've compiled it. I've double checked my nodes, and yeah, it's just not working. So maybe if we can figure out what the problem is tomorrow, that'll be good. Now I'll show you how I added this light. It's really simple. All you have to do is go over to your modes, click on light, and then click and drag light into the scene. And there it is. You can move it just like any other object and change your intensity over here. Attenuation, which is the drop-off radius. There's all sorts of unique settings that you can play with. And I'll just go ahead and delete that. Yes, and so you'll notice that the scene that I created with the objects using dt_props, which are just objects that are placed inside the project already. I use the click and drag method like I said before. Click and drag and place the objects here. And I did a different setup than what the tutorial did. Like I rotated the rocks, I did the shovel a different spot. I had the barrels and the books and these coins right here. So that's all unique for me. And for lighting passes, what you do is you can move around your light if you want, and especially if it's static, to bake in the lighting, you want to go to build and hit the drop down arrow, and then you can change the quality of your lighting over here, and you can hit build lighting only, and that will bake the lighting. And now these errors come up. I was told by the tutorial that these won't matter so much for our case, and just to not worry about it. And you'll notice that there's some weird artifacts going on here, and that's because we're using a static light. Now if you change to a stationary light and you build that lighting, then it looks a little bit better. But and of course, let's try movable. Movable takes the most amount of time to render because it's movable by the characters inside the game. But you'll get a lot better result from just your viewport by using a movable light. And camera animations. So let's see, I believe I go to cinematics to create an animation, and this is the camera movement that I created earlier. And if I can recall how to do this correctly, to play back your camera animation, you can go to play or loop, and I'm just going to choose loop and close out this tab. And here we see, oh, not there. This should be moving. Let's see if I can get it fixed. So I think the problem solved itself. All I did was I hit loop and I just dragged the tab next to the main one, and it worked out. So as you can see, the camera movement that I created was also unique from the tutorial. And it's really simple to make camera movements. All you have to do is, we can stop that. I'm using the scroll wheel to zoom in and out of the ticks. So this is how you can scrub through your animation, and each of these red ticks are keyframes. And so if I go to this middle keyframe, which is dictating the camera movement, and I move this downward, and then when we hit loop, it'll show the updated camera movement from that one keyframe. And lastly, packaging the scene. For this, you want to go to File and Package Project, and you can click on Windows 64-bit and select the place that you want to save it. And let's see. Here you can change what type of project you'll save as, development or shipping. It just depends on where your game is in the production pipeline. So basically, the whole purpose of packaging a project is to send it to other people to test out your game. And so what the tutorial does is you package it just as a developer developing build configuration. And whenever you do package a project, it'll essentially let you move the camera around the environment like so, but there's going to be no interactivity. And my packaging project was taking an extremely long amount of time, so I just canceled it. So that's about it. Let's see. Oh, right. The last thing that I haven't talked about on the list is creating a new material with your initials on it. Now for that, he doesn't talk about how to do that in the tutorials, but if I were to do that, to put my initials on this barrel, let's say, I would go to Materials and Barrel. I can double click on it, and here is all the nodes dictating the color, metallicness, specularity, roughness, normal map, and the inclusion, all for that barrel. So this is the barrel texture. And so if I wanted to add my initials to there, I would be editing the base color. So I would go to this node, or I think specifically we want the texture sample that is dictating the diffuse color for this. So I would go to, I think here, because this is all connecting to the base color. If we just follow the nodes. So this is wood diffuse. I think I might be mistaken, but you could probably use any one of these, but we could take wood diffuse for example, and I could go into Photoshop and just put my initials on here. But he didn't go over that specifically in the tutorial. So that's about it. Yeah, the only thing that I couldn't figure out, besides the initials not even being mentioned in the tutorial, is that trigger, the triggering light. And I really tried to get it working, but maybe it's just the fact that it's a different version of Unreal Engine than what he was using, and there were some differences that he didn't cover. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out later. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.